Amen, Sound Discovery Team. Thank you for joining me here for another episode of Sound Discovery Team. Here we are with a familiar sound. Tough if you don't know it, but if you know it, then much easier. Let's hear it. That's put it right here, partner. That is a handshake, amen. It's a handshake symbolizing an agreement. And I will say we'll have this sound this episode, Lord willing, next episode, and then we'll go on to a new sound after that. But I do want to just really hammer home this concept of God's agreements, God's covenant. We've talked about in the last couple episodes the idea that when man makes an agreement with man, oh, how things go sour. There's all these stories that you can look into. And, if you know me, you know I love food and I like restaurants and the food business. I love all that stuff. And there was a guy that made a chili sauce. And for years, he had a agreement with a farmer to supply all his chilies. And he didn't raise the price on the product, and the farmer did his end of the bargain, and it was a great agreement. And then one day, out of nowhere, it seemed like, the guy making the sauce wanted to find a new partner and wanted to find a different place to get his chilies, and all these things changed, and they went to court, and, both businesses suffered, and I'm sure people's health suffered, and all of this over some hot sauce, literally. But that's man for you. They get hot over hot sauce. They get hot over airplanes or cars or businesses or whatever. The courts are full of lawsuits. Some lawsuits can go on for many years. I remember I was involved. My family had a court case, like a family dispute. And I was supposed to be a small heir in that dispute. So they'd have me come in and testify and blah, I wasn't being sued by the grace of God. I was simply there to be party to it and explain my side or whatever. And I said, man, this has been going on forever. It went on, I believe, 7 years, God's number of completion. And it was a total mess of a trial. And the lawyers are the ones that seem to make all the money. But anyways, after all of that, I said to the attorney, that's awful. And they said, look up the Carvel case. And so Carvel, if you're from up north, you might know, it's ice cream, right? And Carvel, the founder of that one, went to, had a messy will or something, and all his riches were spread out. It was one of the messiest cases ever. It was so messy, it took forever. They told me, look up the Carvel case. It took over 20 years of continuous probate, federal, and bankruptcy court litigation. 20 years fighting over whose is what. This is man, So I thought 7 was a long time. That's almost 3 times 7, right? Good night. Incredible. Yeah, so, and some say it's 17 years, some say it's 21, whatever. But we're going to call it ballpark 20. You look it up. Carvel case, Carvel. You see that man is just, the heart is deceitful. And man puts so much hope and faith in finance instead of hope and faith in the Father. Amen. And what is so ironic, what is so poetic about God is God through it all gives us his precious promises. And we looked at the Abrahamic covenant, that agreement made between Abraham and God. And we talked about this idea of an unconditional agreement, as in Abraham didn't have to do anything other than believe, and God would do the rest. Abraham simply needed to believe. He didn't need to be perfect. He didn't need to be sinless. He didn't need to win every war. He didn't need to win every battle. He didn't need to do anything other than just have faith and truly believe, and God would do the rest. And so Abraham was faithful. Though he was flawed, he was faithful, and God did the rest. That's the Abrahamic covenant. It's Father Abraham. Abraham has Isaac, Isaac has Jacob, and from Jacob you get the 12 tribes. That's why they call it the patriarchs or the fathers. Amen. Lots of big words here today. Now today we're looking at the covenant with Noah. And I don't know, they call it a Noahic covenant. I don't know. Noahic, but I'll just call it Noah's covenant. All right. And that's in Genesis 9, 8 through 17, where God makes Noah a promise. And this is the real reason we have rainbows today. Genesis 9, starting at verse 8. And God spake unto Noah and to his sons with him, saying, And I, behold, I establish my covenant with you. So remember, Noah went on the boat when there was a flood. It was Noah, his wife, his children, and their wives. That was it, right? Okay. And behold, I establish my covenant with you and with your seed after you and with every living creature that is with you. Remember, they brought all the animals of the earth, of the fowl, of the cattle, of every beast of the earth with you, from all that go out of the ark, to every beast of the earth. And I will establish my covenant with you. Neither shall all flesh be cut off any more by the waters of a flood. Neither shall there any more be a flood to destroy the earth. What does that mean? That means God will never flood the earth again. When you see it rain, man, the storms get bad. I know all over the world the storms get bad. Here in the South, we get crazy storms. It'll be sunny, then the next minute it'll be rainy and cloudy. Oh, man, I drove through one the other day on the way to the coast that was like my palms were sweating. It was so crazy. It was sunny out, and I literally was driving into like the darkest cloud I'd ever seen. It was raining so hard you could barely see it. I'm like, oh, Lord. And then you come right out of it and sunny again. Anyways, when you see these crazy storms, we had one last night with great lightning and rain, and even this morning was raining. When you see these crazy storms, you may get the impression, hey, is it going to flood? You know, is the earth going to flood? It's not that crazy to think if it rains straight for 2, 3, 4 days. It's not that crazy to think, hey, God's just maybe going to just let it out his wrath again. But he said, I will never do that again. I will establish my covenant with you. Neither shall all flesh be cut off any more by the waters of a flood. Neither shall there any more be a flood to destroy the earth. All right, that's very clear. So God establishes a covenant with Noah. And God said, this is the token of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for perpetual generations. That word perpetual means ongoing, okay? For perpetual generations, I do set my bow in the cloud. That's the rainbow. And that shall be for a token of a covenant between me and the earth. And it shall come to pass when I bring a cloud over the earth that the bow shall be seen in the cloud. And I will remember my covenant which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh, and the waters shall no more become a flood to destroy all flesh. Think of it. God is saying he is going to remember what happened with the destruction of all humanity save Noah and his family and his children's wives. He's going to remember that and never do it again. Verse 15, I will remember my covenant which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh. This includes all the animals. And the waters shall no more become a flood to destroy all flesh. And the bow shall be in the cloud, and I will look upon it, that I may remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh that is upon the earth. And God said unto Noah, this is the token of the covenant which I've established between me and all flesh is upon the earth. That's where the rainbow came from. This incident right here in Genesis 9, 8 through 17. Isn't that beautiful? We'll get to much more about this in the next episode, so tune in then. Now let's get to the next part of the program. All right. Now we have a new update here. You might just skip past this. Don't skip past it, because this is new here, friend. We are now doing a monthly sticker, a new sticker every month. One sticker a month for those that fill out our form. So you don't have to worry about how many stickers you're going to get or which sticker you'll get. Each month. Yeah, there you go. I'm getting through it. Each month you'll get a new sticker if you fill out the form. So once a month, we're going to send out one sticker because you guys have been so good. We've gone through so many stickers that we're at the point now where we just have to give one new one out a month to make sure it's fresh and new, and that's manageable for us. But anybody is eligible that listens to the program. All you have to do is go to kidskjv.com. That's kidskjv.com/gift, GIFT. That's kidskjv.com/gift. Have your mom, dad, guardian go to that page, fill out the form for you, and you will get the monthly sticker in the mail for that month. So right now it's August. Maybe you hear this in September or October or November. Whatever month you fill out the form, you get that month's free sticker. So that is the exciting new change here. Make sure that everybody does get a new sticker when they sign up, and keeps things manageable for us, just sending them out once a month. All right, make sure you subscribe on your favorite podcast app. Look up Sound Discovery Team. Make sure you tell all your friends about Sound Discovery Team as well. And thank you so much for listening to the program. You are very much appreciated. All right, Sound Discovery Team, that's it for today. Tune in next time. Take care. God bless. Amen.